joining us to give us the latest VIP update. You're the only man smiling during this lockdown because you're back on the golf course, but you're getting whacked by the looks of your tweets.
No, listen, I'm still undefeated, pal. I'm picking my opponents. I should have been a matchmaker for golf and not boxing, yeah. But listen, it's been a bit of a saviour because no boxing, no football. I'll come back to the football in a minute. Nothing really to do with it after the work finishes, and you can't just be working all the time. So once the golf course is open, I was made up, and from today you can play 3 and 4 balls as well. So I've just been playing 2 balls, so we can have a bit more fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Any of them clubhouses been open for a sneaky pint?
No, we're carrying Budweisers. That's the thing now. So we're putting those screwed top Budweisers in the bags, and we're having a few on the way around. So
Lee Hogan with a rucksack and a little VIP camera carrying the cold bag.
No, listen, I've decided I've just put half my clubs in now to make room for the Budweisers. Yeah. So we're all having a bit of a laugh. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, sure, you'll certainly be drinking and celebrating when boxing's back, Steve. Obviously, you know, there's behind closed doors next month, BT, Sky, there's even talk of Channel 5 having a go of a couple of shows. Where do you stand with yourself as a promoter and you promoting these shows?
Well, it's virtually impossible for a small oil promoter who gets no TV monies to do the show. So at the moment, I just started looking at costs to maybe do a YouTube event and just do one and see how it went, and you know, just like a $2.99 and look at getting some decent numbers just to cover the costs. You know, if I could do it and maybe just lose a few quid, I'd be prepared to do another one. But if we didn't get any numbers, which is quite possible, and you end up losing 25,000-30,000 quid on a 5-fight card, that'd have to be the last one till we get back to mass gatherings. And the problem is now you don't know A, when it's going to happen, and B, what the rules will be, because if you've got to try and keep the 2 metre distances at a boxing show, you might as well not do one, because it'd be impossible to do. So that's the only thing I can do at the moment, explore like a YouTube one.
That's a big risk, Steve, because even if you do one and make attractive fights, how do you get people from the mainstream to watch that, given that there's going to be an overkill of football, boxing, cricket on the TV, you know, from July, provided we don't get a second spike?
Well, I think one of the reasons we're not seeing the dates for the boxing at the moment is that they're all waiting for this Premiership to happen, because obviously that's where the main eyeballs come. And I'd have to do the same. I'd have to look at when the football's going on, look at when these boxing dates are going on, and then try and find a date when there's nothing on, and hopefully get some people to come and tune in. So I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we are looking at that, yeah.
That would rule out July, because I think there's football playing. Premier League is like blankets Saturday and Sunday in July and the first couple of weeks, last couple of weeks of June. So you're going to be looking in August when you've got maybe just European football and an FA Cup final.
I'm not saying we'd have to do it on a Friday or a Saturday. You know, we could do it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, can't we? Where there's nothing happening. If there is, you say, nothing happening, it's going to be an odd one. But it's something we're looking at, and hopefully, if we do it and it works, we can do it again, because it might be 2021 before the public events. You know, hopefully not, but it could be.
Have any of your fighters, you've got a lot of fighters on your book, you know, differing standards, you know, or differing levels. Have any of them said, that's it, I'm just going to jack it in now, Steve, and get on with my career outside of boxing?
No, I've not had that at all yet, but I'm probably anticipating it. You know, the first couple of months, no one bothered me. And I'm thinking that the main reason is that boxers are used to probably going a couple of months without a fight, so it really wasn't that bad for them. But now they're thinking, I want to be fighting, and am I going to fight? They're all coming on to me and saying, try and get me on these behind closed doors, which from when I spoke with one of the top promoters, they were saying they were only doing like 8 and 10 round fights. So probably half of my kids who are 4-6 round level are ruled out. But all the others, you know, they're capable of fighting, aren't they? I've got a lot of fighters, but most of mine are half decent. So You know, I've sent the list on to the lads, and I'm waiting for people to come back. And you know, if it is a 50-50 fight, and we've got to go away from home, they're all willing to do it.
And have you got anyone who's been? Have you been approached for any of your fighters so far from Eddie or any of the other promoters?
Well, the only one I've been asked for was Zelfa Barrett to fight on one of Matchroom's cards, but at the moment we're just waiting. You know, obviously they're not bringing opponents in. There's not that many super featherweights really for Zelfa to fight. Obviously he's a Commonwealth champion as well. You can't defend your titles at the moment because the rules from the board are that you can't have a championship fight. So it's going to be difficult to match him up in what would be a fair fight, which is what I'm being told, because it's just 5 fights on that they want all decent fights, yeah.
How much of a pain is it for somebody like Josh Warrington, who, you know, when he was with Frankie was on a good deal, well, he's now with Eddie on a good deal. You know, how is it for them? Because their deals are based around fighting in front of 10,000 people, because they're not quite, I know their names, they're not quite pay-per-view unless they were involved in a big unification. Yeah,
well, he's kind of stuck in the middle, like you say. You know, to earn the money that he's contracted to, he's kind of based on people coming through the door and the gate revenue adding up to make it work for not just the boxer but for the promoter as well. So at the moment, we're hoping to get his unification fight and do it at Headingley, but we can't move forward on that till we know when we can have the mass gathering. So he's stuck in a little bit. I mean, maybe Eddie, who he's with now, might risk him in a pay-per-view and give him a small guarantee with should we say, a share of the profits if the pay-per-view do well. But that's not something we spoke about at the moment. But it's something that I've got in the back of my mind that to make sure he doesn't go too stagnant, that we might have to do.
I mean, and how much is it a worry for, I know obviously for Josh, his dad Sean, and for you as his manager who's been with him since day one, manager, co-promoter now, I don't know what your title is now, Steve. How much is it a concern, the fact that he's at that age now where the momentum has been with him for a couple of years and he's now he's fast approaching his peak, and that doesn't last forever?
No, it's not good, is it? You know, I would say he's at his peak now, and the next couple of years are really where he's got to get those defining fights and leave the legacy that he wants to leave. So the fact that we was having one and it's been put back is difficult, you know. And when you say put back, you don't know how long it's going to be put back, and will that still be there? Will things have changed? I don't know. But speaking with Josh the other day, he's okay because he's in the same boat as everybody, isn't he? You know, it's not as though it's just him. And a lot of boxers feel like it's just them who's unlucky. But with this, it's everybody. And so I think they'll be able to cope and handle it a little bit better. But he's training every day. You know, he's had his own gym built now where only him goes, and he trains, and he'll be in shape as soon as he can fight. And if he's got to fight behind closed doors and a deal can be done for that, 100% he will do, because as you say then, time is ticking on him. I mean, lucky enough he's been a clean living lad, so he's not going to have his career shortened by what he's been doing outside the ring like some of the fighters and even footballers do. So you know, he's not the end of the world, but he's not perfect.
Yeah. And any of the other boxers, any other, I'm asking you, I think I know the answer. Is there any other definitive news on any of the other lads?
Well, not really, no. The only thing I've just seen is someone just sent me a piece from the Irish paper saying that Jason Quigley's training to fight my lad Jack Cullen in August on the undercard of a Dylan White show, which also has Katie Taylor on it, which would be a cracking show. And obviously Cullen was up for fighting him in May at the MEN Arena, so he's ticking over and training, so he'll be up for that. But that's the only other one where I've heard anything really positive. You know, as I say, there's a few rumours knocking about and a few possibilities and maybes, but nothing definite. Even Zelfa's not definite yet now, but I'm sure once these dates are done and they're looking in, we've got the sort of fighters that people are going to need to make the 50-50. So I think the phone will start getting hot again.
Come on, Woody, you said rumours. Give us a bit of gossip. People want to hear gossip from the Wood stuff. I can't say anything and no comments. It's boxing. We love gossip. I haven't heard no gossip for ages. Tell me, give me some gossip, Woody.
Deary me, you sounding like Steve Bunce there, mate. You'll have to chill out a little.
South London, but that's about it.
Yeah. Now, listen, rumours are rumours, aren't they? I mean, that Cullen thing is a rumour from our end. Obviously, Quigley's talking about it, so he might have heard from his end. But, you know, I've had phone calls off boxers, haven't I, saying, what's going on here? I didn't know about this. And, my manager should let me know. And, you know, he's someone that's gone on Twitter and I didn't even know about it. So that's how the work works, doesn't it? I mean, they put out that Tom Farrell was fighting someone the other day, didn't they? They just got the wrong name. It was Nathan Farrell. So the bookies were giving odds out and, he didn't even know about it.
Oh, Twitter, mate. It's great, but I tell you what, it's a nightmare as well, isn't it, social media?
Do you know what it is? But if you take it for what it is, it's actually made some good fights, hasn't it, over the last few years. Twitter been a good matchmaker on some of my shows. I mean, the last show we did before the lockdown, the top of the bill was made over Twitter, wasn't it? With Jay Farrell and Damien Chambers. So that was a barnstormer.
Great fight, a great 5-minute shootout, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it was the same. What was it, March the 14th? So that was the last show that we did. I think it was the Saturday before because we was going the 21st, and that got cancelled. But no, everyone from VIP stables, Steve, is ticking over, being sensible about it and ready to go. Yeah.
Finally, you're going to be hearing my voice a little bit more on VIP, Steve. Will you be able to suffer that?
Listen, we've got a mute button, haven't we? The Cockney reject button, bump.
Cockney reject, my favourite band, mate. You need them on here, mate. Doing a gig on VIP.
We're starting to get people tuning in, Steve, not knocking it off there, dearie me. But there's some odd people, isn't there, who like the punk. So you can learn to put a Cockney reject intro as you come in, eh, Steve? Would that work for you? Your ring walk.
We'll have War on the Terraces.
Yeah. So for everyone watching in, Steve's going to start ringing around and getting a few interviews and banging them up on our YouTube. So hopefully you get some interesting ones, Steve. Any ideas who you're going to get in the next few times?
All rumours. I've got a couple of guys I want to approach, but until I approach them, I don't want to say I've approached them until I've spoken to them.
Right. Dearly me, you're sounding like me there, mate.
Well, I'm learning from you, Steve.
Right. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to what you're going to do anyway, Steve. So good luck with that. And if I can think of anyone to pass on to you, I will do, pal. Yeah.
Thanks for the interview today, Steve.
No problem. I'll speak to you soon, then, Steve.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.